Thanks, Ralphie. You? Thought you might have been.
How's your big tall forward? How's Tom McDonald?
Yeah, look, he was obviously outstanding in the game, but looks like a meniscus in his knee, so we'll get that scanned. But he was terrific today, so it's disappointing for us. But hopefully the scan will come back and not too bad, and we'll see how it goes. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. It means a lot, Pete. We want to build a winning culture, and we did a lot right today. For 3 quarters, it was looking more like the Melbourne style of footy that we've come accustomed to, last year especially. But, 2 of the last 3 weeks has looked a lot like us. And obviously losing the 3 guys and the limited rotations put a lot of strain on us physically. But there's some unbelievable physical efforts in that last quarter too. But we always knew Carlton are a really good running side, and they were going to come late with the rotations that we had. So, full credit to them. They started to win it at the source around clearance in the last quarter. But to be down in the last quarter and then to just find a way. There was a lot of calmness on the field and a lot of clarity about what they needed to do, and they executed it. So, I'm really proud of the guys.
You thought it was mostly those rotations that was any of the issue. They obviously improved, but it was mostly the rotations.
I don't want to take anything away from Carlton. They willed themselves back into the game, and they're a much improved side. And we know that when they get on top of clearance in the last 3 weeks, they start to dominate games of footy. So it was an area that we weren't very, very strong at in the last quarter, and we were strong for the majority of the day. But with rotations, the game's difficult. When you lose 3 guys, pretty early on in the game. Obviously, Tommy was in the 3rd quarter. It makes it tough. And, I think we had 67 rotations, and physically you could see the strain on the guys out there. But, as I said, to their credit, they hung in there. We got behind, but they found a way to get it done, and that's what you need to do as a side.
Jaden Hunt, a word for him, and then pretty nice finish, obviously 3 straight for the day as well, but just stepping up in that moment. What does that do for you?
Oh, it's great for Jaden and great for the team. We've had some problems with our goal kicking at times this year, but for him to kick 3 straight in the second half, that's a big step forward. But to kick a goal like that under pressure when the team needed it with a minute and a half to go was sensational. Yeah, he was great, the big fella. 43 hit outs, and he competed strongly in the aerial contest down the line where we needed him to be, and that's why we got him there to our club. We see him as a developing player, and that's probably why he's played a lot of VFL footy this year. He hasn't played a lot of footy, and he's just getting better and better. And the work that Greg Stafford has done with him in the last 14 weeks and over the summer, he's one of our most improved players on our list. So it's great exposure for him today, and against a really good opponent. But I'm sure he's feeling it physically right now.
How do you manage that, given that obviously Max is one of the best ruckmen in the game, he's going to struggle to dislodge him?
Ultimately, we think we can play 2 of them. That's the ultimate aim for us, is to be able to play the 2 rucks in a game together, and it's not that far away. But while he's been in this development phase, we wanted to build his ruck craft at VFL level. And continue to improve his marking, and I think you saw today that that's a much improved element of his game. So ultimately in time we'd like to play them both.
Lever and I think Nev Jetta played maybe 75 minutes or?
Yeah, so Nev played 2.5 quarters and did some top-up running part of his recovery. So we'll just have to sit down and look at whether he's available next week. But Jake Lever will definitely be available. He played really strongly, for Casey yesterday. So he's an option coming back in next week.
And just with Maxi, you're playing if he's fit, I suppose, but obviously the way that Bruce stood up, maybe instructs that, or?
Oh, we'll wait and see on Maxi. As I said, we want to build a winning culture. So if Maxi's right to play, he'll play. It was hard stopping the big man this week, let alone trying to stop him next week. So he's done a lot right in his recovery. It's getting better and better every day. But as I said, we're not going to take any risks with him. But if he's a pretty senior player, and if he actually wants to step up and play, we'll pick him. Yeah, I think in the last 2 to 3 weeks, we've had a little bit of a reset at the midway, and the guys have done some amazing training in the last over a period of time. So we're starting to see the rewards off of that. Last week was some areas of the game, our strengths that let us down. And we're pretty reckless with the ball. But 2 out of the last 3 weeks, I'm starting to see some big improvements in just the consistency of how we play in all 3 phases. And I think you would have, supporters would see in the first 3 quarters they would have liked a lot of what they saw, as I did and as our coaches did. And as a club, we've had some challenges. There's no question about that. But I think we're starting to push through it. I can see some pretty strong footy for us in the back half of the year, and hopefully some footy that our supporters will be proud of.
Yeah, how many rotations you had in the last quarter?
I got no idea, but it was 67 for the game, which is low, and I reckon we would have been up around 40 at half time. So, Marge, you got that for me? Thanks, mate. Yeah, and some more on-field rotations. And we had some roles going in the game. Jordan Lewis was doing a pretty strong role, and Mark Murphy, and some things like that got challenged in that situation because we had to continue to spin the midfield. So we just got to maximise the people that are on ground, try and control the ball a little bit more. We were a lot slower with the ball, and that potentially got us into a bit of a pickle as well. So in the end, you just got to find a way. How many? 9 rotations in the last quarter. So, but please, John, I want to make sure we're clear that Carlton were very good in that last quarter. Broken collarbone for Hoare and concussion for Petty. So, Hoare will go in for surgery pretty quickly, which is pretty standard for our collarbones these days, and hopefully miss maybe 2 weeks and be back. Thanks, guys.